Welcome to Livzenastrology, the channel for updates and reflections, where we are grounded in the stars and elevated by consciousness. Thank you for tuning in. Hi guys. I think that I am on live here with Zoom. So yeah, it looks like I'm streaming live. And hello, good afternoon, everybody, friends and family. I just wanted to pop on here because I was in meditation today and beginning a new flow, a new cycle of behaviors and disciplines to move for the next chapter in my life. And as I was contemplating the energies and really deep diving into what Cazimis are, which astrologers will talk about that. And if you can look, you can go online and check out and put in input what a Cazimi is, which from my understanding, it's when the sun is conjunct or right next to a planet, a specific planet. And so Cazimi actually means as if in the heart of the sun. So what was really sort of looking out to me today as I was looking at the chart, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up the chart now to share exactly what I was looking at with this Cazimi. For those of you who've never heard of that, again, you can Google that online and see what that's about. But I wanted to see the implications of what this Cazimi means in terms of these transits happening, because it looks like if you look at the date here, February 16th, 2023, which is tomorrow, and it's 11:56 a.m. This is Eastern Standard Time, and I'm using the Greenwich Village point and the directory here in the sky. And if you look at it, you can see here, this is Saturn. This is the sun. They're both at 27 degrees, and you can see they're both at 44 minutes. So it's exact. That means that Saturn will be going into the heart of the sun with the sign of Aquarius. So as I was looking at the implications of that and feeling into the implications of, well, okay, so what does that mean? How is that going to affect my life or our lives? Or how could that possibly manifest? I was called to look up just for myself. And again, I've been studying and practicing astrology for at least 20 years, but I still like to refamiliarize myself with the concepts, just because it's always a continuing education with astrology. And I just wanted to really kind of hone up, what does the sun mean in astrology? What does Saturn mean in astrology? And what does Aquarius mean? Because Cazimis are powerful, potent, from what I've read and what I've understood Cazimis to be, it's a very influential time, especially because the sun is our life force. It's our vitality. It's how we share energy. It's how we're seen in the world. In essence, every day when the sun rises, you look up to the sun and it's true light. It's our life force energy. And so wherever your sun is in your chart, that's where you're showing up to share your life force energy. And right now, collectively, because the sun is in Aquarius, all of us are showing up under this Aquarius sun to be influenced and to shine our lives, our vital life force energy through the lens of Aquarius. So when I was looking at, more of the characteristics of Aquarius, it really is about the inventor, being different, being unique, going against the grain, being your own individuated self, right? And with the sun shining our life force energy, when I was looking at the implications of the sun and just a few words that describe the sun energy, it's vitality, it's your core personality, your reasoning behind your actions. And so it's, why do we get up every morning? When we wake up to meet the sun, which is to meet ourselves, we're meeting the energy with a certain life force, with a certain viewpoint, if you will. And so with it right next to Saturn, and again, I was called to look up Saturn terms again, because Saturn is going into the heart of this unique, individuated, expressive energy that rules technology, it rules electricity. I'm talking about Aquarius now. And with the sun's placement, which is our life vitality, where we've come to shine our energy, and Saturn going into the heart of the sun with the characteristics of Aquarius, Saturn meaning our structure, our maturity, responsibilities, discipline, and stewardship. So this is the planet that's going into the heart of where we've come to shine the energy, not just as an individual, but as a collective energy, all of us, meaning humanity, because Aquarius rules the sign of humanity, groups, organizations, big groups. And so again, taking all these terms and all these definitions of what these means and just sort of placing them together, because that's really that's why I called livzenastrology live Zen, as I'm learning to embody these energies and better understand them and how they apply to my life, so I can have more of a grace and ease and fun experience of this reality. And so in my meditation this morning, and let me go back a little bit. Today was an initiation point. I think all of us have initiations where we begin new cycles, new projects, new movements in our life. And today was a new movement forward for me. And I actually had the energy and the life force and the vitality to actually follow through with it. And, we may have started and stopped a lot of our projects over these last few months, especially with retrograde, Mars being in retrograde like it was for so long. It felt like we would never get things started or never keep the momentum to keep the things that we started implemented and consistent. But now that we're really feeling the forward momentum with all the planets forward right now until, I believe, May, we can feel the support of the planets actually helping us implement the actions that we wanted to take. If we're vision boarding, you were writing down, okay, this is what I want my life to look like. We're actually now being given the support to take action on it and to be sustained in that action that we're taking forward. So for myself today, I had said, okay, if you want something different, you got to do something different. So I wanted a new morning routine to get up earlier. As an entrepreneur, you really have to have certain disciplines, Saturn, to show up for yourself. Because if you're not showing up for an employer, for many, many years, I worked for employers, right? And they set my schedule for me. They said, okay, these are the hours that we're scheduling you to work. These are the hours that we're going to pay you for. And these are the hours that we're expecting you to show up and to be on time. So for those of you who are moving more towards entrepreneurship, who are moving towards more working for yourself or being in a safe, self-sustaining environment, you have to show up for yourself like you would show up for your employer. So today I said, I am hiring myself to be an astrologer, and I'm going to show up for my shift at 10 a.m. And knowing that, just like I would, show up to a job, I had to get up in a timely manner and do all the self-care things that I needed to do before I could show up for my shift. And so this is just the reason I'm sharing this story about what's happening in my life personally and how it's applicable to maybe what we all might be experiencing, is because what I'm feeling is that I've wanted to step into being a professional astrologer consistently for many, many years. But there's been a lot of overcoming the mind, doubt, really deep diving into the study of astrology, feeling worthy enough to share astrology and my own unique perspective of astrology, and how astrology can really help us move through some of the things that we might be going through in our lives by just having some perspective. So for me, this has been an on and off again process for years because it's what I really want. But in my head, in my mind, there was a lot of blocks. There was a lot of self-doubt. There was a lot of still in that mentality that I believed I had to show up for an employer to earn a living. I had to show up outside of myself. And I'm not saying that, we don't need to do what we need to do to generate money. But for those that are really stepping into their gifts, that are stepping into their passions, that have decided that they want to pursue the life of their dreams, doing whatever exactly it is they want to do in their own unique way. Again, this is all Aquarius, wanting to shine your light onto the world, into the world, and being present, being seen, taking up space, the sun, right? Really shining your light no matter what. So today was a bit of an initiation for me in that I said, okay, I'm going to get up at a certain time. I'm going to do my self-care practices. I'm going to do yoga. I'm going to drink my tea. I'm going to oil pull. I'm going to do all the things that I do to prepare for the day. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to work, which is for myself, which is basically we call it the great work or the great play. However you choose to look at it, whatever your perspective is. And for me, I'm going to the great play, because if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And so it is a dance for those of us who are learning to be self-sustaining, Capricorn, Saturn, responsible for our actions, responsible for how we show up. Again, this is all Saturn. And Aquarius with groups, how I show up to my community, how I show up with you guys who are on social media, who we are sharing our light and our content and our creations and our perspectives. And now we're being given support by the planets to actually take action and be sustainable with that. And that's what this Cazimi energy today is, I feel, is how it's showing up for us and how it could, through these potent couple of days. Now, if you can see the exact Cazimi is going to be tomorrow, but I would say start even now, because again, I can feel the momentum. We can start feeling this energy with the sun conjunct Saturn, giving us life force energy towards those things for the long term that we want to take on for ourselves, that we want to implement, that we want to structure. And so what does that look like? Well, the download that I got, and there's been a lot of astrologers talking recently. I follow Pam Gregory particularly as one of the many, many astrologers that I like to get information from and to share and to just hear different perspectives from different astrologers and what they're processing. And lately she's been talking a lot about water. And so when I went into my meditation practice this morning, preparing for this shift, preparing for this day, I kept feeling, structured water. What does that mean, structured water? Well, I know structure, looking up Saturn, is about structure. And of course, we've got Neptune and Pisces about water. Well, we can also see that Neptune and Pisces is also at a conjunction right now. So we've got, you've got Neptune and Pisces there, but you've also got it conjunct Venus and Pisces. So what does that mean? Well, looking at the Cazimi with Saturn and the sun, simultaneously with Pisces, Neptune, and Venus conjunct, there is an emphasis on taking action to doing what you love. And with the water, we're made anywhere between 70 and 90% water, depending on where you look and get your information from. Scientists range anywhere. They say, oh, we're mostly 90% water and just a few minerals and salts, and some say up to 75% water. So I just range, based on my readings, anywhere between 70 and 90% water. So needless to say, we are mostly water. And for those of you who study structured water is almost, if you look at cymatics, and there's specific geometries based on sound and vibration that can structure your water to bring it what's called coherence or balance or resonance. Meaning if there's coherence, then there's no breaks in the pattern, and the pattern is a beautiful, fluid, moving auric field, if you will. And the more structured that water is, the more that the energy can flow through the body, through the electrical currents, which of course also is Aquarius. And from what studies have shown, especially if you study Dr. Emoto's work, tap water, actually, because water travels through pipelines, it kind of breaks the water apart. So it almost destructures the water if you're just drinking tap water. So even if you don't have anything, if you only have access to tap water, that's okay. But they say that you can also structure your tap water with intention by simply, placing it in the sun for a few minutes, or maybe, holding it to your head or to your heart, the water, and blessing it, saying, thank you, I love you, I love you, I'm so grateful for you. That anywhere that the water was unstructured because it had to go through the pipes to get out of your sink, it can restructure it based on your intention. So what does that mean with this transit with the Cazimi going back to structured water? Well, since we're over, anywhere between 70 and 90% water, and with the sun coming in right next to the planet of structure, it's actually showing us what I was able to see in meditation is like a new crystalline structure, a new geometry, a new restructuring of the body, of the cells, of the water in the body is happening right now. And it's being emphasized with the life force energy of photons and the sun. And so if you know that this energy is happening right now, which it is from, I'd say right now until at least tomorrow, February 16th, and you always want to look at exacts, conjunctions at 44 minutes, right? 27 degrees. And if you add up the number 2 and 7, that's a 9, which is completion. I always look at numerology as well, because at this point, we're starting to study frequency when we're studying astrology. Frequency, energy, vibration. These are all concepts that Nikola Tesla had talked about, if you want to know the keys to the universe, right? So numbers also equal vibration and frequency. So we have the frequency of completion with Aquarius, which is also the energy and frequency of newness, inventiveness. So we're ending out a cycle, if you will, and beginning anew simultaneously with the restructure. They talk about businesses and entities and corporations, they go through restructures. Well, right now, your personal vessel, where the sun is shining in your chart, is being restructured in this now moment. And the more that you can stay focused and be present with the energy that is around you right now, that is going to bring in the Neptunian and the Venus flow right next to each other of structuring in more of what you want, what you're attracted to, and what you want to experience. So right now, this is the window that I'm seeing. So important to focus on what you want to bring into your life. Now is not the time to worry about the past or look at maybe the things, the imbalances, just the negativity that may have happened in your past life, even in these last few days. Whatever it is that has led you to this downtime moment, wherever you are, if you could just be present with the energy, no matter what. If the energy is dense, it's hard, you're having a hard time focusing, getting out of maybe your own way, go out into the sun, go out in nature, take your shoes off, get those solar codes, because right now the sun is right next to Saturn, which is restructuring your whole biology. Everything from our spiritual natures, our mental, our emotional, our physical, and our financial bodies are all being restructured, reorganized into a more harmonious, balanced, loving possibility. And I say possibility because what it is you perceive is what you will believe and what you will experience. So if you're focused on the belief of scarcity, on the belief of separation, on the belief that yes, that we may be suffering, but that there's no hope, then that's what you're going to experience. But if you decide that you want a different experience and you want to live more in your heart, you want to live more abundantly, then this is also the time to focus your energy on that, to be the disciple and the discipline of bringing that more into your life. And it's going to require you just to be present with the energy. So a great utilization of not just explaining, I love to look at the energy and allow guidance as to, okay, what's this bringing in? But now how do I work with this energy? How do I use it? What am I supposed to do with it? Now that I know that the sun is right next to Saturn and it's going into the heart of the sun, what do I do with this energy? So for me, it's about staying present, and it's about staying in a state of allowance, allowing whatever wants to come in, whether it's that phone call, whether it's an idea, a concept, and really write it down. Take action on what it is that you want to create by bringing it to the physical, writing it down, creating structure. Again, we are being restructured. This is a restructuring process. And so you want to remind yourself as to what you're being restructured into, not from the old. The old is dissolved. You think about a sandcastle, it's dissolved. That's what's leaving, and the ocean tides are coming to take that away. Pisces, Neptune, Venus, and it's pushing all that energy out because it's bringing in a new structure, a new way to define your life. And it's based on what you love. It's based on possibilities. And if you choose to focus in that way, because you're an infinite creator, you have free will, you can restructure and create the old structure again, which if you're living in the past and you're not being present, that is what possibly could happen with this energy. You could literally create with the restructuring the exact same structure that was just leaving and create a whole nother karmic cycle. Or you can stay new to the possibilities, maybe introduce a new chemistry into your system, maybe do something different over these next few days and really implement those changes of the new to allow the new restructuring on a cellular level of what's coming in, so that we can embody these new energies and not replicate the old structures, because the structures are going away. We don't want to rebuild the old structures. And maybe some of us do. I don't know. Maybe but some of us are fine with the old structures and want to recreate that. And that's okay too, if that's where you're at in your consciousness, because there is going to be a vibrational frequency match to whatever experience you generate. So you can keep generating and experiencing the old, that is free will. Or with this Aquarian, which is what's being offered right now, we can invite in the new and seeing things from a new perspective, literally seeing, because the sun shines light on what it is that needs to be created, what it is that maybe might be Saturn's bringing in, which is this reorganization, this new discipline, this new way of being in the world. And it's giving you support to implement it. It's giving you life force energy to actually ground it in and bring it to the earth. So this is just a reflection of this Cazimi. Again, you can look this up, this terminology, Cazima and IMI. And, as you're deep diving further into astrology and getting to know your own charts and your own planets and what all this means, this is just an invitation to help you see your life from a perspective of maybe how the energies are possibly coming in to work through you. You are the channel, you are the receptor, you are the radio station that's playing energy that these planets are coming in there, and they're transmitting these energies through you. And so be open to what's being transmitted. Go out into the sun, especially tomorrow at that exact time. I believe it was 11:58 a.m. This is Eastern Standard Time. So I know you guys are global, wherever that is for your time. But set the intention to allow the restructuring of your life to come in, whatever that means, because it is for the highest and best. This is evolution. This is the Aquarian momentum that we are experiencing in this now time moment. And so if you want to go utilize it, and at least to be aware of it and have choice, if you want to play with this energy in however you choose, it's just good to have awareness. And I'm grateful to share in this way, livzenastrology. Again, my philosophy as an astrologer and how I live my life and why I study astrology is just so I can have a better understanding of what the heck is going on around me, looking through a lens of understanding and cooperation, because I realize these are just frequencies, these are just energies, these are just archetypes and embodiments that people are playing out, and I don't have to take it personally. I don't have to take it personally within my own life. And if anything, I can enjoy the process knowing that The only thing that doesn't change is that things are always changing and things are always moving. So for me, astrology just gives me a sense of direction as to where these energies are moving, how they're moving, and how they're playing out in my own life. And it just gives me possibilities. It gives me hope. It gives me peace in my heart to know that there is a method to this. There is a system to this. There is a cohesiveness to the universe and to how it operates. And even if my mind doesn't understand it, I can feel that I am part of something bigger, a symbiotic relationship with the universe that I am co-creating. And through awareness, it just makes it more fun to co-create. And so that's the intention of Live Zen Astrology, just to create a life more of live Zen, of living Zen. And that's through the study of astrology. So I've just decided, and this as part of this Saturn Sun Cazimi flow, for those of you who are on Telegram, I'm actually going to be beginning, I have a Telegram channel on Live Zen Astrology, but I want to study these concepts and go deeper diving into more occult and esoteric knowledge with astrology. So if you want to be invited, there is a Live Zen Explorers, which is a private circle community group where we can join in. It'll be like a once a week group where we join in and we talk all things occult, all things esoteric, all things astrological, and we weave them together to apply them into our everyday life and how we can take these concepts, these old wisdom ways, these maybe ancient lost knowledge, or maybe untapped into knowledge, and how can we weave that knowledge into our application to astrology, into our lives, and just really deep diving into these sort of mystical topics. And that's just the realm I like to play. So if you're wanting to explore this with me, check me out on Telegram, Live Zen Astrology, and you can reach out to me either here or wherever you see me on any of the platforms, and I can add you to that private members group. This is actually, we can grandfather you in because eventually it will be a paid subscribership for people to be into this community. But for now, I just really want to invite in those to see who wants to play, who wants to join in these realms and go into the deeper dives with astrology and occult knowledge and esoteric studies and how it all weaves together. And so I'm looking forward to joining in community with you guys, those who are called, that want to share space, that want to connect and build community with like-minded folks who, you know, love all things occult and astrological. So anyway, I hope this sort of reflection gives you perspective and at least piques your interest to studying more astrology, getting to know more of the concepts, getting more to know the planetary energies, the signs, what they all mean, and how they apply in your life. So again, check me out on Live Zen Astrology, all the social media platforms, and please reach out to me if you are looking to have a chart session. I'm actually also being called to do a live astrology chart session online, live and in person, because I'd like to present my gifts as being an intuitive astrologer, because that's pretty much what I consider myself to be, as an intuitive astrologer, because I do like to study all different facets of astrology, from evolutionary astrology to shamanic astrology. And I just weave it all together through my own intuition and my own just understanding of what's going on, and then how that applies to your own birth chart, and just to bring that perspective in. So if you're looking to share energy and to connect in that way, please reach out to me, livzenastrology.com. You can go and book a session with me. And yeah, we can explore these concepts together and just see how, you know, these planets they're always talking to you. So how are they speaking? What wisdom are they sharing? How are they guiding you in this now moment? And we can share that and learn that together and navigate that space together. So anyway, thank you for taking your time. Enjoy these next 2 days with this conjunction happening, this Cazimi with Saturn and the Sun, also with Neptune and Venus. There's some powerful energy going on. Please stay focused on what you want to bring into your life. Don't focus on the past. The past is gone. Forgive it, let it go. Whatever you need to do to get to that space to really put that in its space, kind of like a museum. Go visit the museum when you need to, but you don't live at a museum. You go and you visit, and then you come back with a new perspective. And today, right now, the light is being shined on a new perspective, a new restructuring of your whole DNA, of your whole water, your whole body, your essence is being restructured. Don't rebuild the old structure. That's collapsing. Bring in the new. That's what's we need right now. That's evolution. That is what's being called for a new experience. If you want something new, you got to do something new, right? Otherwise, you're just going to create the old. So it's up to you. It's choice, free will. Here's to having at least more choices by bringing more awareness to possibly what we might be experiencing. So thank you, friends and family, for watching. Much love, many blessings to you. Till the next time. Bye.